Good evening, everybody. It's Wednesday, September 7th, and FSU Weather is back. That's right. I'm student meteorologist Jay Carstens, and before we get things going here, just like last year, we wanted to really get things going here with our little State of the FSU Weather address, if you want to call it that. But first, what we need to do is talk about Hurricane Hermine, of course. It came through last week, made landfall just east of St. Mark's, just off to our south, about 1:37 a.m. on the morning of Friday, September 2nd. Maximum sustained winds at 80 miles per hour, and of course, numerous power outages in excess of 75,000 power outages reported at one certain time here. So, of course, what we wanted to do was thank everybody involved in both the preparation and the response, the emergency managers, the utilities and power crews that worked tirelessly to get everything and everybody back on their feet. Still some work to do out there. But again, much better scenario than what we had back in 1985, and that is a testament to all the hard work that this city and this community has put in, all the help that everybody has done for each other. For now, we lost a lot, of course, around FSU Weather last year. Plenty of our best have graduated, and of course, we wish them all the best of luck. We're taking on their lessons, all the leadership, all the friendship they exhibited, and we hope to really take this show off to the next level. So for now, we're going to get things started. We're going to take it over to the desk where two of our old Wiley veterans are standing by, Andres and Matt Reagan.
Thank you, Jake. It is great to be back. It's an awesome feeling to have our first show of the year again.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I mean, we had a little experience with Hurricane Hermine. We were on the air.
We did. We were on the air. We were tracking it live here in the basement. Yeah. It was just an amazing time. My first hurricane ever, so I was really glad.
Yeah, well, I think it was my third hurricane.
Your third?
I don't know. I've had too many hurricanes, but we all made it through, as Jake was saying. We're the Wiley veterans. That's kind of an interesting phrase.
It sounds kind of crazy. I'm a veteran of the show. I don't know. I like it.
I know, this is strange. But we will take up the reins of the people who have gone before us, as he was saying. But we wanted to talk about Hermine just a quick bit here, because we were covering it, as you were saying.
Yeah, we were covering it. There's about maybe 10 of us down here covering it the whole time. Every now and then we would go outside and see how the conditions were looking. I actually was up on the roof right when it hit Tallahassee really hard, and not recommended, but it was very, very exciting.
Yeah, we're in a very safe place here, especially because we're a little bit higher up, kind of away from all the obstructions. But we were riding out the storm here in the Love Building. We talked to the BBC Network. We talked to a lot of people. It was kind of a fun night.
It was really fun. Definitely an experience I will never forget. Mm-hmm. I have it. Thank goodness for Facebook, because I have it stored in Facebook, and I can always go back to it and just, be amazed by what happened over here.
Mm-hmm. And as meteorologists, we like to track it, but unfortunately, we don't like to deal with what comes in the aftermath. And as Jake was alluding to, we did see quite a bit of damage from this storm. Power outages, people are still without power, so if you are tuned into us now and you hear us, we hope that your power comes back very soon. But for now, we will be sending it on out for our first overview of the 2016-2017 year with Kendra.
Thanks, guys. In the wake of Hermine, many of us left town, and we've returned to beautiful conditions. We are topped off in the lower 90s today, 91 in Tallahassee, a little bit cooler down there by the coast in Apalachicola, as is expected. But what's significant is that our humidity values have dropped quite a bit, so it feels really nice, dry air out there today. You can see there's really nothing in the way of storms. Usually we have a couple pop-up storms in the afternoon, but those are not in sight today. Just beautiful blue skies. As for tonight, we are cooling off quite a bit, dropping into the 60s. This has not been seen in a while. Very unseasonable for this time of year. Clear skies and just calm winds is going to let all of that air or the heat radiate out of the ground and make it be very calm or very cool tonight. Our headlines, it looks like it's going to be cooler than average. Clear skies through Friday, and then possibly an isolated storm this weekend. Matt and Andres?
Thank you very much, Kendra. We just want to do a quick update. Get a little tongue twisted here. We're just so excited to be back.
It's okay. It's not the jitters.
Yeah. We want to do a quick update on the power outages. We've got about 5,000 people in the city still without power. As we said, City of Tallahassee, the utility company, is still working hard and tirelessly throughout the night to get people back up on the grid.
I know. I didn't get power until get back power. There you go. I'm stuttering too. I didn't get my power back until last night as well. So I was very excited. I got home from the gym and I saw my lights over and I screamed. I was like, yes. So it was very exciting.
I think you had the same reaction for a lot of people who were getting their power back over the last day or two. And 4 days without power, 95 degrees outside. It was not fun, but we know a lot of people did leave town.
A lot of people did leave town. I left town for a day. I had to get away from this. I went down to Panama City Beach, enjoyed the day on the beach. I said, if I'm gonna be hot, I'm gonna be on the beach being hot.
Yeah, well, that's a nice way to do it, especially Panama City Beach. For right now, though, we're going to send it out to our first local of the 2016-2017. Man, it's first everything. We are so excited. Jordan, take it away.
Matt, it's so good to be back here again. I actually just came back yesterday because I had to escape from the lack of power in my apartment complex. Right now, I did return to some beautiful weather. Currently in Tallahassee, it's 89 degrees right now. Clear skies, absolutely gorgeous. The humidity, too, low as I've seen it in quite some time now. 44%, and that dew point is in the mid-60s, too, so that's great to see. Current temperatures around the Big Bend region, most of the same actually. 89 degrees in Tallahassee right now, 89 St. Mark's, same as Monticello. And it does head up a little bit hotter toward the farther north you head up. Bainbridge 90, 90 in Quincy, 91 in Wilma being the hot spot, and the coolest spot being Apalachicola at about 85 degrees right now. Current water vapor, it is very dry outside, only about 44% humidity as I said earlier. This water vapor map shows you the brighter the color is, the more water is in the atmosphere, and that is that kind of like icky sticky factor that you kind of feel whenever it gets really hot outside. Right now, nice and clear, nice and dry, so you get the nice dry heat that we're not used to here in Florida. Satellite radar, a couple pop-up showers along the coastline, but that's about it. It's been absolutely clear the whole day. Ever since Hermine hit, it's been gorgeous weather, and that weather is going to continue into this weekend. Your jet stream forecast, as we start to shift towards more like fall-like and winter-like weather, the jet stream is going to continue to drop down. As I put this into motion for you, it's going to start to drop down a little bit more, and you're going to see more cooler weather up towards Detroit, Minneapolis, and Michigan in that area. Tonight's forecast going to be absolutely gorgeous right now. 68 degrees, cooler than average, as Kendra was saying earlier. It's going to be nice and cool. You're not going to have much wind either, so it's going to, if you want to go stargazing, tonight is the perfect night to do that. And because of the lack of clouds, it's going to be a lot cooler. 68 tonight with nice clear skies. Tomorrow's outlook going to be another very sunny day, much like today, 93 for the high. So it is going to feel a little bit warm out there, but it is going to be nice and clear. Very dry air aloft. Winds out of the east about 5 miles per hour, so a nice cool breeze with that beautiful sunshine. Boating forecast, it is going to be a light chop out there. Winds out of the southeast about 10 to 15 knots. Waves 2 feet or less, but it's going to be sunny skies. Sunrise is going to be at 7:18. Sunset is going to be around 8 o'clock or so. And that is going to daylight is going to start to get shorter as we go farther into the season. Planning your Thursday, it's going to be nice clear skies. Keep it cool at about 70 degrees. And as your lunchtime is going to start to warm up, about 87 degrees. And dew point near 60 at about 91. Here's your 5-day forecast. Looking nice tomorrow, 93 for the high. Friday, much of the same too, 94 for the high. Rain starts to pick up as you head into your Saturday. Saturday about 20%. Sunday going to be about 30% chance of rain. And starting off your work week, the rain is going to start to pick up, but those temperatures are going to start to drop. Let's head on. Let's take a look farther out to the southeast with Lexi.
All right, thank you so much, Jordan. It is great to be back. No, those high temperatures, we're pretty much on the average. 90 degrees in Tallahassee, a little bit much hotter in Montgomery at 96 degrees. Nothing we haven't seen before, especially in this time of year. But currently, right now, it's 89 degrees in Tallahassee, 87 in Orlando. So we are seeing those upper 80s to lower 90s, which is much better than what we've been seeing over the course of the summer. But again, Montgomery at 96, and even Little Rock sitting at 93 degrees. So it's still pretty hot out there, but like Jordan said, it's been very, very dry, which is very nice. 44% humidity in Tallahassee, 50 in Orlando, but Montgomery is very much more dry than we are right now at 26%. So it's feeling very dry, not as moist as we experienced, especially when Hermine passed through, but it's definitely been a lot more enjoyable with the coming weather that we have been seeing. Now, our current winds right now, it's 8 miles per hour in Tallahassee. Those southerly flow has been coming through, especially in New Orleans, and a couple winds going to the south at 15 miles per hour at Key West and 10 miles per hour in Miami, but pretty much staying moderate to light winds, so it's feeling very, very nice out there. So satellite and radar's pretty much quiet. Not much going on. South Florida seeing more clouds and rain activity as the day goes on, but I know we want to take a break from all that rain, especially when Hermine passed through, and that's exactly what we're getting. So the Futurecast radar, again, southeast pretty much sitting pretty quietly. maybe a few storms off to the east coast, especially around South Florida. But as we head into Thursday night, again, not expecting much. Maybe some storms out in the Gulf, but the radar and the weather is going to stay pretty quiet and pretty sunny. So that's definitely something we are looking forward to seeing. So for tonight, 66 degrees in Tallahassee, 72 in Orlando. It's going to feel very nice. Hardly any clouds in the area, so please go out and enjoy your night if you do have any plans. And tomorrow's forecast, we are right back up to those mid to upper 90s, 94 in Tallahassee, as well as Shreveport, 94 in Montgomery. A little bit cooler down in Key West, but of course they're by the water, so they're just getting a little more cooler, especially as the humidity drops as well. But for now, let's go ahead and send it to Matt Mackie at the desk. Matt Mackie?
Thank you so much, Lexi. I know we've heard all about Hurricane Hermine, came through, made landfall as a Category 1, knocked a lot of power out for the city of Tallahassee. But did you know this is only the 5th storm that's been named Hermine? That's right, tropical storms, not hurricanes, named Hermine, rolled through the Atlantic Basin in 1980, 1998, 2004, and 2010. The most recent one in 2010 made landfall in Central America, came all the way up through Oklahoma, and left a lot of areas inundated, flooded by water. Now, the reason we're able to have repeat storms like this is because our naming system is based on something put out by the World Meteorological Organization. There are 6 lists that get cycled through every year, and that means that the list we're going through now will be repeated in 7 years. Prior to that, we had a very complicated kind of hodgepodge in naming systems that weren't really used consistently across the world. In the late 1800s, hurricanes were named after the Saints' Day. For example, on July 26, you would have had Hurricane Santa Ana. That came through and hit Puerto Rico in the late 1800s. Now, in the United States, in the mid-50s, we went through a system where we named storms alphabetically, but using the same list, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, stuff like that. After that was deemed to be too confusing, we switched to the current system, and that's because having a short and sweet name really helps to communicate the storm, helps it last in people's memories. However, we're not going to get strong storms that have been retired like Katrina, Wilma, and Sandy. All those storms are retired, and we're never going to see storms with those same names again. For now, we're going to send it off to Ulises. He's got more for us at the national desk. But actually, right now, because those lists get cycled through every 7 years, we're looking at the possibility of another Hurricane Hermine coming through in 2022. Again, 7 years, that difference. And as I mentioned, the fact that we have this system is really, it comes down to public safety. That's paramount, you know. We as meteorologists need to be able to effectively communicate to the community, to the people we serve, to the people that watch us, to the people that are looking to us for the weather. That's why we have this naming system. It really comes through. Sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. We are going to send it over to Ulises right now. He's got more for you at the wall.
All right. Thanks, Matt. Right now, the storm reports, a lot of active activity, especially towards the northern half of the country. You can see, especially into North Dakota right now, where there's actually a severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 9 o'clock. Mostly wind reports. We do have some hail reports into Wisconsin right now. And in this region of southern Wisconsin right now, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect just around the Milwaukee area until 5:45 Central Daylight Time. And you can see most of those wind reports continue to go further south towards the Washington, D.C. area. And that's mostly due to a stationary front. Right now, conditions very warm, especially over the eastern half of the country, 92 in Dallas, 92 in Atlanta, 80 in Washington, D.C. So really warm, very humid. There's actually heat advisories in effect for the eastern portion of the country going into today and tomorrow. Dew points, a lot of mugginess, that ick factor really there where you combine those temperatures and the humidity, what it feels like outside, heading towards the 100 degrees as far north as all the way up into Vermont and even New York State and Michigan. As you look at the water vapor, a lot of green, especially in the northern half of the country, thanks to that stationary front, that's especially into the Midwest, helping fuel those thunderstorms throughout this afternoon. That will be the continuing trend as we go into the evening as well. You can see some of that green into parts of Arizona due to the remnants of Hurricane Newton now affecting New Mexico and Arizona with a flash flood watch in effect until tonight. You can see the satellite radar. A lot of rain, especially moving into parts of Milwaukee and Illinois, that region. So Chicago, Milwaukee, southern, going into Michigan. Be watch out in that area for tonight if you're going to that Brewers-Cubs game. So that's really where the main activity will be. And it's also into points west into the Dakotas. So a lot of activity going into parts of the Midwest for tonight as we look at those delays. 53 minutes at Washington, D.C., and that's mostly due to the weather. Also into New York. So some of the winds due to the remnants of Hermine, and even to Minneapolis. That's also due to the weather, just the severe weather nearby into the western portion of Minnesota. For tonight, temperatures are going to be on the cool side towards the western half of the country, 50 in Billings, 53 in Denver. A lot warmer towards the east, so you got to crank up that AC all the way up from San Antonio to Detroit, mid-70s all around. Tomorrow, have that water bottle with you. It's going to be a heat advisory in the city of brotherly love in Philadelphia. A lot of 90s in the south and east. Towards the north, a lot more relief. But now we're going to send it over to Andres with a look at the tropics.
Thank you, Ulises. Well, another look at the tropics over here, folks. Don't worry, we're not expecting anything to come towards the Big Bend region, or matter of fact, the continental United States anytime soon. We are watching a few systems out there, especially one here in the Atlantic that we're going to keep our eyes on for the next couple of days. But recapping the name of the storms, we started with Alex back in the beginning of the year, and we've actually kind of trickled down a little bit. It was a little bit slow. We had no systems for about a month, but it's been picking up over here since September 10th is the peak of the Atlantic hurricane season. And as you can see, Hermine right there, we all know her very well from this past weekend. But looking over here at the climatology for the Atlantic hurricane season come September, we see that they pretty much develop anywhere across the Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean Ocean, as well into the Gulf of Mexico, as historically these are the paths that they have taken throughout time. But for right now, we are looking at a little bit of a wave that has come offshore onto the Atlantic off the coast of Africa. It's over here about southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands. There's a 70% chance that this system does develop, and we're going to continue monitoring it over the next couple of days as it's going to trek its way towards the west-northwest, and eventually, if it does develop with the 70% chance we are giving it, it will develop into Ian. It's the next named storm on the list. But going to the Pacific over here, we have post-tropical cyclone Newton. It did make landfall in southern Baja California and it tracked northward, and it's actually right now located in southern Arizona. The winds are about 30 miles per hour. It's losing a lot of its characteristics, so that's why it's post-tropical cyclone Newton right now. Convection is really not deep at all with this system right now as it continues, but we do have two more systems right here towards the bottom part of the screen, as you can see right here. This one right here, striking towards the west at 10 miles per hour. We are giving it a 10% chance of development, and we have another one right here right behind me, closer to the southern part of Mexico. That one is being given a 60% chance, but it's also going to be tracking towards the west over the next couple of days. So we're not really expecting much out of these two systems. But looking close over here at Newton, we can see that once it did cross into the border, it began losing a lot of its punch, a lot of its power, and it has become post-tropical. The question is, when did it become post-tropical? Well, eventually we'll get a full analysis on that. But right now it is post-tropical. It is capable of still producing some heavy rain. So if you're over there or you have some family over there, make sure you tell them to watch out for the system, as it will bring some more rain as it treks on toward the northeast. But for right now, I'm going to pass it off to Matt with a look around campus.
Thank you, Andres. Let's look around our community, because this is how we woke up this morning. It was a lot nicer than what we saw with Hermine. This camera saw a lot of different things, but now look at this. Blue sky everywhere we look. A couple of clouds kind of peeking in and out, flying on through the screen, but really high pressure settled in, and we are in for some gorgeous days. A little bit hot, but gorgeous nonetheless. And speaking of gorgeous days, of course, we got to have a golf index here, especially for our fine producer, Jake Carstens. Here's the golf index. We got sunny skies. Prepare for the heat, though. If you do want to head out to the course, grab the water, grab the extra water if you're heading out to the range. The east winds at 5 may curve your ball a little bit, depending on where you're hitting it to. But golf index, it's looking gorgeous out there, just a little bit on the warm side. Now, as we go around the rest of the community, even down towards the coast, if we are heading out to the beach, a little bit of a light breeze, southeast 10 to 15 miles per hour. Put on the sunscreen, folks. It's still summer. We're almost getting to the point where the water will start to cool down and the air will start to cool down, but we are a few weeks away from that. Even the water temperature, look at this, 84 degrees, UV index, still very high. Now, around town here, especially for Seminole Sports, the soccer game against UConn is going to be kicking off tomorrow at 7 p.m. You want to stick around for that. Clear skies all around, 87 degrees. A gorgeous day to head on out there and support your Noles. And let's look at the 5-day forecast once more. Look at this. Thursday, Friday, sunny skies, a little bit on the warm side. Rain chances bumping up a little bit later on into the week. But now we're going to send it over to Ulises, who has more.
All right, thank you, Matt. I'm going to be talking mostly about the heat in general. While everybody else has been talking about Hurricane Hermine, the heat has been the main story, especially in the eastern sector of the country. Temperatures all the way up to 15 degrees above normal for this time of the year, affecting cities like Philadelphia, New York City, Boston, Washington, D.C., and even to cities a little more towards the west like Pittsburgh, Detroit, and even Buffalo. Temperatures really, unusual for this time of the year, with heat indices all the way up to 100 degrees. So just remember to take caution today and tomorrow, as there's advisories posted over the northeastern sector of the country. But when it comes to this heat, is this also spreading now into Europe as well? England today, for example, London temperature soared into the 80s. Very unusual for them. Also 15 degrees above normal for them for this time of the year, especially now in early September. But the good news for them is that some rain and a storm system will be coming to them going into Thursday and Friday with gusty winds up to 50 miles per hour. But the heat will also push even further east now, affecting the continental portion of Europe, affecting mostly France and Germany. Cities like Berlin and Frankfurt could be topping into the mid to upper 80s, almost 20 degrees above normal for this time of the year. So the heat is on in September. And just remember to have that water bottle with you as you go all throughout, if you're going to be sightseeing all throughout Europe. But the great news for Germany, a lot of festivals will be having great weather as you go throughout now and into this weekend as well, because those warm and hot, toasty temperatures will continue all the way into the middle of next week. So that relief will really take a little bit longer for them to arrive. But now we're going to begin to send it over to Margaret with a look around Florida. But before we do that, we're going to talk more about that heat
problem here with our
all
graphics.
throughout the U.S. Just remember to have that water bottle with you, that sunscreen if you are going to be outside. So just remember, it is still summer around here in the northern hemisphere. So just remember to drink water bottles, wear light colored clothing, try to avoid being around sunlight between the hours of 10 to 4 p.m. And just remember to have that umbrella with you, especially with those isolated thunderstorms throughout the eastern portion of the U.S. But now we're going to send it over to Margaret with a closer look of the Sunshine State.
Thanks, Ulises. It has been a gorgeous day up here in North Florida. We're a little bit warmer than some people might like, 89 degrees here in Tallahassee, but considering the fact that it's not humid, it has been gorgeous. We do have some showers along the coast, and as we get down into South Florida, Jacksonville's got some clouds. West Palm Beach and Miami have been seeing some scattered showers, and Key West is seeing some showers right now. But overall, it has been a very nice day, and up here in the northern part of Florida, that's in part due to our dew points. With those dew points sitting well below 70 degrees, especially here in Tallahassee with a dew point of 64, it is absolutely gorgeous because there's not as much moisture in the atmosphere to make it feel sticky. We can see that also in the upper levels of the atmosphere. These orange colors are the drier air, making it feel gorgeous here. South Florida, seeing some of those typical storms and higher humidity, in part because of the sea breeze that they see coming off of the coast today, coming off the Atlantic Ocean. So we are seeing those winds up to 13 miles an hour in West Palm Beach, fueling those clouds and afternoon thunderstorms. But our satellite and radar really isn't showing much. If you go south of I-4, just those showers and thunderstorms in the Fort Myers, Miami, West Palm Beach area. Nothing north of I-4, though. It has been absolutely gorgeous. Futurecast rainfall, we're not going to be expecting to see much North Florida, South Florida, some small accumulations with those scattered showers and thunderstorms over the next few days. But we're going to send it back to the desk with Lexi and Jordan.
Thanks, Margaret. Looks absolutely wonderful outside. Did you see the weather out today when you were walking your class? It was gorgeous.
Absolutely, it was very gorgeous, and definitely like not feeling that humidity, especially with hair like mine. My hair loves just poof out, especially when the humidity comes around.
Yes, exactly. My mother does the same thing. She always puts a ton of hairspray in her hair, especially because in Florida, she's from Pennsylvania, but in Florida, the humidity is just so bad. But
very
today,
big difference.
Today was a complete opposite story. It was 44% humidity, and it looks to be like that for the next couple days. Nice, clear, dry skies. Hermine took all that humidity and that wet weather away from us. Right now we're looking at a wonderful high pressure system. Looks absolutely gorgeous, especially these next couple days.
Yeah, and we do encourage, especially with the football game this weekend, that if you didn't get the chance to do a Labor Day weekend barbecue, that it would definitely be the time to do so.
Yes.
But definitely for now, we're going to send it back to Mackie with the last look at the local.
Guys, thank you so much. It's beautiful on campus right now. You're looking at 89 degrees, clear skies, and the big story today is going to be these low dew points. It's feeling really dry. The relative humidity is only at 44%, and we're dealing with light winds, keeping it really nice and comfortable. Take a look at humidities across the region. It's really consistent. 44 in Tallahassee. That's the low spot. Over here in Monticello, 53. They're feeling a little more moisture in the air, but still feeling very dry. It's a different story down here on the coast. Carabel, Apalachicola, their relative humidities are all the way up at 59 and 63. So a little more moisture in the atmosphere there, but still feeling pretty comfortable. Current winds, not much just down there. Some light winds coming off the ocean. 4 in Carabel, 9 in Apalachicola. That's bringing in some clouds. Only 8 here in Tallahassee. So not much trying to take you mess your hair up with the winds there. Satellite and radar over here are the only things to see, just some showers moving over there. You can see in the first couple frames of that loop. Aside from that, Tallahassee, or the entire southeast and the Big Bend region, Tallahassee here, we're clear and it is gorgeous out there. On the Futurecast radar, you'll notice still not much. It's going to be relatively dry as we progress this. You start to see some showers flickering in the later frames. You saw some here on the eastern portions of the Big Bend, but really just some out there in the Gulf. Not much to worry about, not too much rain coming through, even as you progress that through Thursday, Friday, and into the later portions of Friday. Really not much going on. Tonight, it's going to be a beautiful night, guys. 68 in Tallahassee, clear skies, not a lot of wind, feeling really comfortable there. If you're on the coast, 70 in St. Mark's, you're being kept a little warmer by all that moisture, being close to the water. As for what you're going to want to wear tomorrow, T-shirt and shorts, because it's going to be dry, it's going to be beautiful, really a continuation of what we have seen today. On Friday, the sun, or a strong sun, so make sure you get your sunglasses in there, and on Saturday, the heat returns. You'll see that later in the 7-day forecast, but make sure you're wearing your FSU football gear, but keep it light. You don't want to be sweating at that game. You want to stay for the whole thing. Thursday's forecast, really nice, 93. Very dry air aloft, so it's going to be feeling very comfortable again. And it's a little cooler down here on the coast, only in the upper 80s. Elsewhere in the region, 92 in Monticello, 93 in Thomasville. So really going to be a beautiful day. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast, give you a look at what you can be expecting here in this extended outlook. On Thursday, high of 93, low of 68, really what we have been seeing. Similar conditions persist Friday. We're up into the mid-90s, so a little hot for that football game. Afterwards, the rain chances return. You're dealing with a mix of sun and clouds, 20, 30, 40%. They build, they taper off a little bit at the end. Aside from that, you can expect conditions here in the low 90s and lows overnight just in the low to mid-70s. Really comfortable for this upcoming week. We're going to send it back to Lexi and Jordan at the desk to wrap things up, guys.
Thank you so much, Matt. It looks like those rain chances, unfortunately, will be back this weekend.
Yeah, well, actually more like next week, starting into the work week. Those rain chances do
That
start
is
to
true.
bubble up a little bit this weekend, but hopefully not to get in the way of our football game at all.
Of course, we love our Noles. They did really well against Ole Miss, and we just loved cheering them on. And hopefully the rain holds off, and hopefully we can stick for the whole game.
Yep, I gotta wash my clothes because I need to get some FSU gear on.
I do too.
I don't want to be wearing these long sleeves, especially in this heat.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
No.
Well, as you can see, it's definitely, again, like we said, the rain chances will return starting Saturday and going into Sunday. And definitely Monday will be the highest at 40%. And those 90s will be returning just a little bit.
Of course, but don't forget to always follow us on social media. We have our Facebook page, like I said, facebook.com/FSU Weather. Follow us on our Twitter at twitter.com/FSU Weather. Don't forget to also follow us on our Instagram and watch us anytime. Our wonderfully bubbling, smiling faces at live stream at /FSU Weather. For now, I am Jordan Frazier.
And I'm student meteorologist Lexi Birmingham. Thank you for tuning into our first broadcast of the year, and we're looking forward to doing it much more in the future.
It's good to be back, and good night.